Hey there, everyone. I'm Colin Weston with ModGolf Live. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. It's Monday morning here in Vancouver, where I am. If you're joining us back on the East Coast, it's noon, lunch hour. Hey, and I know we got some people joining us from Europe, so I guess it's around dinner time. We're becoming a global phenomenon here with ModGolf Live. We've been doing it, well, gosh, we've been doing it for about almost 4 months. I think this is week number 15 in a row, joining us on Mondays. So have another great guest with me today, and that is JC Carbonell, who is, I'm going to hold off for a second here because he's doing some great things to support young student athletes through entrepreneurship with scholarships. What he is actually doing with Get NIL Ready. Get that right. Hold on. See, it's still morning time here. I still need a little more coffee.
It is.
There we go. Okay, now I'm waking up here. But hey, before we bring JC on here, I'm going to do what I've been doing the last couple of weeks here, and that's talk about my Monday morning musings, things that have transpired, unfolded in the world of golf, in the world of life. World of life, is that even a thing? I don't think that's a thing, but hey, it's a thing now. So my Monday morning musings. So hey, the thing I'm going to start with here first is something that we did last week through ModGolf, and that is support men's mental health through our charity partner, through Heads Up Guys. And Heads Up Guys, if you've been following us on social media, they are an online platform that provides support and tools and resources for men of all ages. And it's amazing what they're doing. They're getting more than 10,000 intakes on their website now a week. So yeah, they're doing great things as a nonprofit. And we've been raising money for them and raising awareness. And we did a fun event through here locally here in Vancouver through the University Golf Club. That's here at UBC here in Vancouver. I'm part of the weekend men's group, so I have community around that ever since COVID. The last 4 years, I've played there. Some awesome guys there, 150 guys that tolerate my 16 handicap, which is great. And yeah, so we actually had our first, hopefully it's an annual thing, our drive, chip, and putt competition. So I organized this. It was fun. It was competitive, and we raised almost $600 for men's mental health. And we raised $1,000 about a month before that at another charity event with Heads Up Guys, and we're going to keep on going with them. So just want to kind of express my gratitude for having the opportunity to get to know John, who founded Heads Up Guys, and the great work that they're doing there. So yeah, if you're struggling with your mental health, or friends that are also, you know what, because it's okay not to be okay, and just to remove the stigma around mental health. We have ups and downs, and whether it's anxiety, depression, people that sadly take their own lives, and I've had that touch me personally in our lives here too. So yeah, for yourself and for your friends, there's people out there, there's resources. We're all connected. We all have purpose. We all have meaning, and we're all loved. You know what? So yeah. So that is the musing I'm going to share with you today. Oh, the other one I mentioned last week, I'm also excited about this, is I grew up in Toronto, and one of my high school buddies and his friends organized for his 60th birthday a trip to Montreal for the President's Cup. And he reached out to me and was like, "You want to come?" And I'm like, heck yeah, why not? Last minute thing. Sometimes you got to be spontaneous. So I'm doing that next week. Going to be bringing my camera along, and we're going to be shooting some fun content for the ModGolf YouTube channel there. Going to be playing a round of golf with these 14 guys, and then spending 2 or 3 days at the President's Cup before flying back to Vancouver. So really looking forward to that. Okay, so that's my Monday morning for you. Oh, also the one thing I want to mention before I bring JC on here is yeah, we are live, we are interactive here. Please join us. Join us right here on our YouTube channel here. And also with our Patreon page here. People are saying, what is Patreon? What are we doing? So that's a community we have to bring together all these awesome entrepreneurs and people that just love innovation, connected in the golf industry or recreational golf. If you want to meet awesome people, it's a great way to bring them together, and what we're doing here on Patreon. And the other bonus is too is we're doing ModGolf giveaway contests quite often, a couple times a month here. And hey, if you want to win, want to be entered, join our ModGolf Patreon, and that also helps support to cover some of the costs here of production that we have here, both on the video side and also for the podcast that we have coming out. And want to mention we've got our season 16 starting up next week. I'm just editing the first episode of that, and yeah, excited about that. Okay, I've talked long enough here. Time to bring on our guest. It's time for the main event, and here he is, JC Carbonell. JC, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, Colin. How about yourself?
Doing well. JC, why don't you let everybody know I'm joining everybody from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, on the West Coast here. JC, why don't you let everybody know where you're joining us from today?
I am live and direct from Edmond, Oklahoma, just a few miles north of Oklahoma City. We are the home of the Edmond Bulldogs, the Santa Fe Wolves. Go Dogs, go Wolves. Yeah, man, I'm really happy to be here, and I got to come visit you up there. You guys got some beautiful golf in Canada.
Absolutely, we do. Yeah, with British Columbia Golf is one of our partners here with ModGolf, have been for years, and they support the over 300 golf courses we have in beautiful British Columbia. And we're like Seattle, we're a rainforest, although we cut down most of the trees. I guess maybe we're not a forest. We're just a rain now. But yes, so you can play all year round here. I play right through the wintertime, and yeah, fantastic golf, unbelievably beautiful courses here. We got some that are in a desert, some that are on a coastal rainforest, and everything in between. So yeah, JC, you come here. I will, my friend. I will be more than happy to show you around some of the beautiful courses that British Columbia has to offer here.
I have 2 pro wins in the rain, so that's what I like. I'm kind of like a mutter, you know.
Love it. Well, actually, I am at nowhere. You'll probably have to give me about 20 strokes if we actually play a match together. But I love playing in the rain too. I play in our match play, which is net, and yeah, I've done very well in those tournaments. I'm a bit of a mutter myself. Okay, so let's get into it here. So why don't you first of all tell us what you are up to support young athletes through entrepreneurship, through the good things that you're doing with Get NIL Ready and Raisin Brands. I know I threw a lot at the wall there. Well, why don't you start here? Why don't you actually let our viewers know here, which, by the way, people joining us today, we got a couple people on already. Hey, not only introduce yourself, but also, hey, once we get going here, ask JC some questions here. Not just me. We want to make this live and interactive. So, JC, go for it. Tell us about all the good things that you're doing for young athletes.
Okay, first off, real quick, so you know me, I'm JC Carbonell. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York City. I live in Oklahoma now, and I strive to help young athletes become entrepreneurs and have I don't like to call it a safety net, but to have a way to make money after sports and after school. I've been through injuries, so that's kind of why this was sparked off. You can lose everything as an athlete. Once you're injured, it can happen in an instant. So what we've created through Raisin Brands, we have an online training program, an educational program that teaches kids how to become entrepreneurs, how to prepare themselves for NIL through social media so that they can take advantage of the new laws. And not only that, but we kind of think of it kind of thing, right? Like you got championships in your sport, but you've got a championship brand that can build for you long after. We joke around here and we say, Shaq made $400 million after he missed his last free throw. So we want to prepare kids for that opportunity. The laws have changed. NIL allows kids in up to, I believe, 37 states, even at the high school level and younger, to start a family business. And I'd love to see more family businesses and less kids working at McDonald's.
Got it. Why don't you pull back a second here? And there could be some of our viewers here, even though most of our viewers are in the US. We got some in Canada, some up here too, and around the world. But why don't you give an overview of what NIL is, first of all, in case some people don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great thing. I'm glad you said that. We were just at a soccer tournament this weekend where a bunch of kids don't know, and it's legal here in Oklahoma for them to engage. So NIL is a set of laws. July 1st, 2021 came into effect, allowing student athletes to profit directly from their name, image, and likeness. So what that means is that they can become sponsors. They can become, what's the word I'm looking for? They can become spokesperson for brands. They can do work on social media separate from what they do on the field and at school. And that work on social media is basically your basic capitalism. It's just a business. They're running a business. They become an entrepreneur in the fact that their name, image, and likeness has value, and they share clear, confident messages for other brands and businesses. And that has value for those brands and businesses. As you know, I'm sure you found me through something we did on social media, right?
100%.
And that's what I tell kids all the time. If you can get your name out there, get your image out there, and get your likeness out there, you'd be surprised how many people want to be attached to your winning attitude. So NIL allows for all of that to happen. So basically in the states where NIL is fully legal, there are 6-year-old junior golfers that are engaging in deals where their families are running a business entity, and the 6-year-old makes content on Instagram or TikTok. They get 20, 40, 60,000 views. That's similar to a commercial well placed during a television series.
100%. 100%. So give us a bit of the backstory with Raisin Brands of that you formed. I don't know if it was just you or actually you had some other people around this. So as an entrepreneur, you obviously saw some gaps, some pain points, and some opportunities. So let us know the kind of the origin story of Raisin Brands and why you decided to put this together and how you saw it adding the value that you're adding now. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Right. So I want to go back to when I was a student athlete to start. In 1995, I was playing 4 sports in school, and I lived in New York City. Now, as an adult, I know my parents had it rough. It was expensive. Everything was expensive. And if there was any way that I could help financially back then, it would have been a blessing. And because of the NIL laws now that student athletes can do that, I want to help them do that. The gap between 1995 and 2021, obviously, just you weren't able to. There was nothing we were able to do except for raise money as our team. You've probably seen kids shaking the can out at an intersection, collecting money from drivers going by, raising money any way they can. That's pretty much all that was allowed. But now, since the law changed in 2021, I saw that everybody was trying to help kids get NIL deals, right? Everybody was becoming an agent. Everybody had, I know business owners, I know student athletes, I'll bring them together. And that worked really well. But the thing was, nobody stopped and educated the kids on how to be a real entrepreneur and how to actually have some control over that business. So what we have is high school athletes either A, don't know how they can engage in NIL at all, or B, are being told by people who strictly profit from only their work, right? So as you know, you want to have people on your team. That's not their main agenda. Their main agenda is to push you forward and grow your sports career, your academic career. But not everybody is out to do that. So we want to put the education out there, make sure the kids, the parents, the coaches, the athletic directors understand how this really will work for a long-term business and not just a flash in the pan for some money for your first 3 years of high school.
Right. So, hey, why don't you share with us a couple of success stories, 1 or 2 of student athletes that put a smile on your face here?
So 2 of them, one of them, it's actually amazing. I started with him as a golf student. His name's Cole Nelson. The kid picked up golf as fast as I did. For those of you who don't know, I went from the first swing at golf to professional golfer in 3 years, but I put in the work every day of those 36 months. Cole kind of did the same thing. Picked up some golf clubs, and his parents noticed he had a little bit of talent. He had a very John Daly swing with some noodly legs kind of deal, kind of like we all start out. And in a matter of 4 months of me coaching him, the kid just started putting up scores, man. Playing 9 holes, 40, 41. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, man, this kid's got some talent. But what I loved about working with him the most was his personality. Right. He had the drive to do everything, and the way he speaks, you just want to listen to whatever he's saying. And I said to him, Cole, you need to get into this program we're doing, and you need to learn how to become an influencer, right? So he's not fully through yet, Colin, and his TikTok page is already blowing up. He's making really cool videos about what it feels like when things happen to us on the golf course. And as a 43-year-old, I'm watching this 12-year-old's TikTok page, and I'm laughing hysterically at some of this stuff, He even challenged me through his TikTok. He said, "This is what it'll feel like the day I beat Coach," and he's got Luke Skywalker out there. So Cole is probably my favorite because we didn't expect it. We didn't think he was going to jump right into it, be good at it, and love it so much. So that's one of my other. And then Isaac Moffat is a young man who is in the sign language, and our program actually inspired him. I have a bunch of his papers here I've been looking over from his testing. Isaac got inspired to become a translator through sign language and had no idea how. And a lot of times we all get caught up in the how. But
Right.
going through our program, he heard a few things that basically told him that the how is to just put yourself out there, just make some videos of showing what you do and the passion for it. And now he's engaging with the Oklahoma School for the Deaf to try to start a career there. So that one gives goosebumps. Goosebumps.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, what I'm going to do here next is I am going to pull up your, if I can do it here, pull up your website. There you go. So I'll just kind of roll through this. So why don't you let everyone out there know, what you got going on? Perhaps if there's parents out there or even young people that are at that student athlete age that perhaps want to find out more and on board and get to know you and all the good things. So yeah, I'll just roll through this, and you can tell me where to stop if you want. Just tell me a little bit about the website.
So welcome to Raisin Brands U. We offer influencers, athletes, and gamers. If you don't know anything about NIL, we threw up a short video there where I'll explain just about everything I can to you. My direct email is there. You can contact us by phone with questions. This past weekend, South Lake Soccer Club had a huge soccer event called the Cosmos Cup. Over 1,000 student athletes were there. We spent the weekend there giving out our program for free, making sure everybody has equal opportunity to access to our program. Basically, there's our mission statement. We coach young athletes off the field, court, course, match, tracks, trails, hills, snow, pool, or ice, wherever they may compete. All right. And we're just tired of them busting their backs for minimum wage. So today, basically, what you'll find on the website as you scroll through some cool graphics and funny faces of mine, down bottom, you'll find a choice of plans where you can join our free community. Or in that second tab, you'll see scholarship recipient. And this is where I want everybody listening to follow along here. If you click on scholarship recipient, it's going to ask one question as to why you would want education like this. Give us a paragraph or two, and we will strongly consider giving you the program for free. That's all you have to do. If you want to join our community, it's like-minded individuals talking about NIL opportunities, how they can get better at NIL, how they can build an NIL-centric brand for high school and college. If you want to purchase, I won't stop you, but go ahead and apply for a scholarship first because I had a soft spot for student athletes and I approve almost everybody. Don't tell my
Nice. Look in there. I just put up a URL there. So getnilready.com. If you want to learn more about that. Of course, afterwards, we get, more than 1,000 views on a lot of these live videos that we do with ModGolf. So I will make sure in the comments there, I will include the link to get NIL ready there. Make it nice and easy for anyone that wants to learn more from that. I also want to learn a bit more about partnerships. You talk about entrepreneurship, and one thing that we all know here, and you and I have had a conversation, JC, or multiple conversations, and the power of partnerships in life, in entrepreneurship. If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, you got to go together. So tell us about the partnerships that you're starting to put together here with Raisin Brands to really accelerate and propel you forward here rather than going alone just in Oklahoma where you are. How can you reach out to even more people and connect through partnerships? So what do you have going on there?
So what we just started doing with the affiliate program is to start getting in contact with all the assistant pros and head pros at golf courses all across America. As you know, I used to be an assistant pro at a country club here in Oklahoma and another back in New York. Those guys, when I was in that job, junior golfers, and we want to give them the access to help bring those junior golfers to our program and add to their income as they do it. As an assistant pro, and I know 26,000 PGA head professionals are going to roll their eyes at me, but as an assistant pro, it's hard to make a living on the golf course salary. So right. Our affiliate program is Christ-centered. We want to help you and your family, and we want you to help the families that come to your golf course first. That's what we want, right? So we offer our partners, our assistant pros and head pros, we offer them the opportunity to work their pricing and give us reasons why they should have 50%, 75% scholarships for some of their junior golfers. And again, like I said, I have such a soft spot. I approve most of these guys. I really just need to see and hear a couple of paragraphs as to why. So partnerships, again, I'm trying to get with anybody who coaches a team, has a private league, doesn't have access to NIL education, or everybody cold calling you is trying to charge you $1,000 an hour. Call me, get in touch with me through the website. I will come and educate your kids free of charge. So let's figure out how we can get this network going of more professional coaches. Just get in touch with us. I'm sure I can find a way you can help the families around you.
Nice. And as we saw, as we're scrolling through your website there, even though we're all about golf here with ModGolf, but this is any student athletes, any sport, whether it's team, individual sports. So just to be very, very clear on that, don't think if your parents or athletes out there is like, oh, well, geez, I'm not a golfer. That is not the case at all. I'm sure that the golf community is only a small fraction of the student athletes that you're connected to.
The reason for our partnership through golf is my professional status. I have the utmost respect for the PGA professionals who went through the program. Guys, I started playing golf at 28 years old. Found out I was really good at it. By 31, I was a +3 handicap, and I joined professional tours on declaration. So I didn't go through the long process of the books, as they call it. But for every PGA professional out there, I have the utmost respect for what you did. And I know you have juniors that you're helping out and families that trust you, which is why I focused on it, because you're mostly my audience. 10,000 followers, Facebook and LinkedIn, mostly PGA professionals and assistant pros and pro golfers and superintendents. So yes, don't think I'm focused there. It's just my home sport. I'm also a lover of football, baseball, basketball, track, swimming, pole vaulting. We have a 12-year-old pole vaulter. So yes, whatever sport you compete in, again, we coach you off that arena.
Nice. So to finish up here, any other? Well, I want to hear your thoughts on entrepreneurship. The fact you support entrepreneurship so much. Did you always have this kind of entrepreneurial DNA in you, or is this something that you discovered? I know with myself, I think it was always there, but I worked the first half of my career in architecture, basically it's a kind of more of a traditional profession, and not realizing till later in life that I always had this dormant seed kind of waiting to sprout there in entrepreneurship, and was finally unleashed on the world about 10 years ago. So I'm curious with you, your relationship with entrepreneurship. Tell us a bit about that.
Your audience is going to get a great laugh. So again, I grew up in New York City. I'm 14 years old, and I tell my dad, I'm going to run a record label. All the hip hop musicians from New York City are going to come to me. We're going to run a record label. So he got me a job at a stock room at his friend's clothing store. I hated it, Colin. Hated it. The minute I was done with that job at 17 years old, I said to myself, how can I get involved in the music business? So I started a home recording studio. My parents gave me crap about it for at least 2 years until I walked an artist through the door who had some success, and they noticed said success hanging from his on his wrist. Right. And my mom was like bedazzled by his diamonds, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. They supported it. And I worked as an entrepreneur doing music business stuff for the first 4 or 5 years. And then just, up until Raisin Brands, it's been that search. If you're a true entrepreneur, you've always searched for how you were meant to help the most amount of people on the planet. How you not only put a smile on their face, but it gave you a feeling that you couldn't compare to anything else. That's the full search of the entrepreneur. We can have 4 successful businesses and sell them off, right? Get rid of them, sell them off. But when you find that thing that people just feel great about it when you give it to them, you feel great about yourself when you receive from them, that's the search forever. Raisin Brands has been that thing for me. And the gap years in between, I don't even remember.
There you go. Another question for you. I know my work in supporting entrepreneurs and startups here across Canada and in Vancouver with founding Startup Vancouver back in 2017. I really noticed with both women founders and male founders, kind of a different mindset, kind of a different approach, and quite often that women, even though they had so much going on, were a bit more guarded, guarded isn't the right word, more apprehensive, more humble, and not putting themselves out there. I know with us guys, for better or for worse, we put ourselves out there, even though we may not even have the more ego and bravado and not really have enough of the tools to really back that up. But where I'm going with this, JC, I want to hear on your platform, how do you make an effort to connect with young women athletes and get more of them on board so you can get this? So hopefully in the future that with Raisin Brands, you'll have a 50-50 representation of both young men and young women. So what are you doing there to kind of support and connect with young women athletes and entrepreneurs?
Here's the best answer I got for you is that schools and private leagues are 50-50 male and female athletes, and that's where we focus. We go to the events. We go to the schools. You've got men's and women's teams at every school. You've got men's and women's leagues all over. They're mostly united now when it comes to soccer, lacrosse, other sports like that. These huge complexes all over the country, 12 fields, 15 fields. We get out there and we connect. We actually have not had to make that judgment ourselves. Everywhere we've been has been pretty much half and half. And I will tell you this, the young ladies that are aggressive about NIL are the most aggressive about NIL, period. All right. I will say it's kind of the opposite here. The young ladies, they see the confidence of the Caitlin Clarks of the world, and they're ready to move on that right now. I've spoke to some soccer athletes this weekend that, Colin, if you saw them play, you would say what college you already committed to and how much they paying you. And these kids are going, I don't really know. You know, and the girls, on the other hand, are plotting and planning, and they're getting ready to fund whatever it is they want in life through their own NIL, and it's wonderful to see. So I just want to throw one out there, and I'll spell it for your audience. GinaMilazzo.golf.com. GinaMilazzo golf.com. That is a young lady from New York City that I've been teaching golf since 7 years old, who just started teaching golf herself and set her school's college record, all-time record, as a freshman for lowest round last Sunday.
Wow.
So this is my student athlete shout out. Gina Milazzo, Cortland University in New York, tying and breaking records all over the place. So proud of you, girl. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to continue to set records and change the world.
Represent. I love that. Well, we'll make sure in the comments below we will have the link to all the good things that Gina's doing. Who knows? She sounds pretty awesome. Maybe I need to have her on the ModGolf podcast pretty soon. Sounds like
do it.
I'm serious because I find I've really made an effort here. That you've seen what I've done over the last 7 years. I do my best to be as welcoming and inviting for everyone, kind of that broad cross section of society, to get them on to tell their stories. And I need to get more young people on, and I've started to get a few more on the last little while. But still, the age bracket is still like golf. It's a little bit older, so I need to bring that down. So who knows? This is the beauty of it, right? Why don't you give me an intro?
Yes.
Very soon to Gina, and we'll have a chat and see where it goes.
Absolutely will. You will be blown away talking to this young lady. I have been since she's 7 years old. So
cool. Love it. But hey, JC, while we finish up here, once again, why don't you let everybody know how they can connect with you? I'll put up the URL there again for Get NIL Ready. So yeah, why don't you let everybody know? Last chance here to before we part ways here, to let people know all the good things you're doing and how they can connect with you.
My partners and I at Raisin Brands are giving away $5 million worth of our Get NIL Ready course. Wow. It's a $4,997 course. We're going to give away 1,000 scholarships. You can go to getnilready.com, find the scholarship tab at the bottom. Tell us in a paragraph why you want this kind of education and what you can do with it. And if you need to reach me directly, my information is on the website. It's jc@getnilready.com. My phone number's there, guys. I'm willing to answer questions as long as I'm not on with Colin.
Love it. JC, it's been a pleasure, man. Love what you're doing. Glad we had the opportunity to share your story with our audience here with ModGolf Live.
Yes.
And we'll be back again next week. So, JC, thanks for starting our week off right. And love what you're doing. And I'm sure we're going to see each other in person very soon.
Thanks for having me. And I look forward to going back to a listener next week.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Have a good week. Bye for now.